Welcome to the MagiReco News. I'm your anchor, the Yelem, getting bolder every day, and our top story today is that, well, this doesn't look like much on the surface, but both on the North American and the Japanese server, we have some stuff, secrets hidden behind the surface, below the surface even, on both of these servers that we're gonna have to look into for just a bit. But let's just go over the surface level stuff. So we see that we have the 400-day anniversary login bonus on the North American server, which is going to start on the 28th, which is like tomorrow or something. All of these news are starting tomorrow. And it's just a login bonus where every day you log in you get a bunch of stuff, which by itself doesn't really look like too much. However, there is this right here, the Memoria dressing up for going out. Which Memoria is this? I assume it's going to be this Memoria right here, because it's outing in plain attire. It sounds kind of like something that could have been translated to dressing up for going out, but also this was on the Japanese server on the 300 days since release login bonus, which we didn't get. But at least we're getting the 400-day login bonus now, so I assume they just moved it to this one, because we don't have this Memoria yet, but it seems like we'll get it with this one. In case you're wondering if this Memoria is good, not really, but if you have absolutely nothing else, like if it's better than an empty slot, let me put it this way, it's better than an empty slot, but apart from that, not really much else going on there. So at least if you're starting out the game, it's better than nothing. However, it is worth noticing that this thing does not give attack, like it's a passive Memoria and it doesn't give attack or defense, either. It just gives a bunch of HP, so remember that as well. Then we move on to the 400-day anniversary set, where we once again can buy some stuff with paid Magia stones, which means that these are Magia stones that you actually paid for with real money, and the game does make a distinction between Magia stones that you just get for playing the game and Magia stones that you actually paid money for, and these ones have to be ones that you paid money for. You will get a 10 times Fate Weave ticket, you get the limit breaking core, and you get the Rainbow Orb limit breaking core, of course, allowing you to basically limit break a Memoria that is of 4-star rarity or higher or lower, I guess. There is nothing that's higher, that's why. This means that it doesn't mean that if you take a Memoria, for example, a level 30 Soul which tries to space between light and dark, it doesn't instantly go from level 30 to level 50 and go to maximum break. It only gets increased by 1 tick of limit break. So if you want to go to limit break 4, which is maximum break, you would need 4 of these. However, there's only 1 of these in here. But hey, if you have like one Memoria that is like a super rare Memoria, like Soul Strikes and Space Between Light and Dark, or maybe you have a Cube Knight for some reason still lying around on Limit Break 3 or whatever, then you could use this to get it to maximum break, and that would be great. You also get a Choose Your Own 4-star Magical ticket and a Choose Your Own 4-star Memoria ticket. I can't really say once again if these... It says you can exchange this for a 4-star Magical of your choice, which says right there, check the 400-day anniversary set Fate Weave's detail page to see which Magicals are available. I think the reason why they added this text right here to say, please just check in-game where it is, what it is. I think the reason why they said like, hey, check in-game please, is because last time there was a set like this for the anniversary. They wrote in here, for example, like, hey, you can exchange this for any unlimited Magical, which was wrong. It wasn't any unlimited Magical, and they had to fix it afterwards, which was a huge disaster for them. So texts in here about what is actually part of the ticket has been wrong before, so I guess please just check in-game. In the actual, like if you go to the Fate Weave, to the gacha screen, you can see the screen for this where you turn the ticket in, and then you can look at the details and see what sort of Magical is actually available, and just do that to check what you can get with this. Same with the Memoria, although the Memoria ticket will be used in Mitama's shop, so you can look over there where what sort of stuff you can buy. And of course there's the bonus ticket campaign. The reason why this is important is because of the stuff that this means. So first off, let me just go over the basics. So there's going to be bonus tickets, so every time you pull the premium Fate Weave is just the regular Fate Weave that is always active, that you pretty much never want to pull. Because it's not the event Fate Weave, like right now, for example, it's not the Tart Liz or Elisa Fate Weave, it's the other one, the normal one. That is always active, you know which one I mean. And if you roll that one and you get a 3-star or higher Memoria from that Fate Weave, you would get a bonus ticket. And you could use that bonus tickets to buy one of these Memoria. The reason why I say this is important, that this is here, is because these the top 3 Memoria are unlimited Memoria that at some point would just get added to the game. So that's something special about them. However, the bottom 3 Memoria are extremely special because these are Memoria that are tied to reruns. The Ren Memoria was on the Japanese server, was released during the rerun of Ren's event, A Diary to Write With You. Or Diary with just us or something, I don't know what it's called in English. And then over here, this is the memoria that was released during the rerun of the Azalea 1 event. I make a distinction between Azalea 1 and Azalea 2 because I'm still very much certain we're going to get Azalea 2 because it has its own new magical girl, Sarasahana, who I'll talk about, of course, once that actually gets announced. But at least we're not gonna get a rerun, or probably not gonna get a rerun of Azalea 1. Because that is where this memoria used to come from, and this is also an unlimited memoria that just got added at the same time. And also we have this, the Power to Protect. Now this one is also an unlimited memoria, and the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because it's extremely powerful and probably the best tank memoria in the entire game. This allows people to become extremely scary on taking hits, at least on defense. However, I also need to mention, of course, that tanks in general in this game are not as effective at clearing content as damage dealers are. So keep that in mind, that even though this can make tanks extremely powerful at tanking is still something that's usually not as effective at damage dealing. But if you want to go for tank builds, this is going to be absolutely absurd in that sense. I mean, just look at these effects: damage of 15%, damage of 30%, and if you're at critical health, which I think is less than 35%, you get even more defense up. I've done some maths. If Kokoro has like Spirit Enhancement unlocked, and she has this memoria and some other tank memoria, she takes like 8,000 damage from a pull-up blast crit from Kulhomura, which is absolutely absurd. But yeah, it gets pretty crazy. Anyway, that's at least what I want to bring up. This is also the memoria that was tied to the rerun of the Kokoro event, which was of course reaching a gayer height. And so since these three memoria just popped up right here, it just makes everyone now believe, well, everyone, I think I'm the only one talking about this right now, at least no one else on the server was, is that the reruns for these events just aren't going to happen, and they're just giving us the memoria that usually come with these reruns right now. But that's fine, because I think people really wouldn't like a rerun right now of really old events. I mean, some people might, for example, have another chance to roll these characters again, but they're unlimited characters. Not that many people actually do care about this, so it's fine. However, one thing I need to bring up, it doesn't say right here that these memoria are also being added to the unlimited pool. I mean, they are unlimited memoria, so you would think that because they're now in the game somewhere, that they would also be part of the unlimited pool. However, we don't have confirmation on that. There's nothing on this page that tells you like, hey, by the way, these memoria are also going to be just part of the pool right now. But I assume they will be. But if they for some reason aren't, I'll probably make a comment on the video below that they somehow aren't part of the unlimited pool if I found that out. I love talking about this because the implications are more important than the actual news. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering if this is worth it, probably not. None of these memoria are super duper amazing apart from the gay Kokoro one. I mean, by the way, it is a really gay memoria because it's the power to protect who you love, and she's protecting Masada, which they actually took away, and it just says the power to protect. Did they want to remove like lesbian hinting at? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, this is like the only really good memoria from these, so probably don't wonder too much. I mean, some people might say that this one, the Momoko one, is also pretty good. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, just it's probably not worth it because, I mean, you have to roll the premium weave for that. Just having to roll the premium weave for this is probably just already making this not really worth it. However, moving on to other stuff. Yeah, just look at that. Just some stuff here. First off, we have Nagisa's Spirit Enhancement, which I'm not going to talk about too much because, or at all, because I can't read Japanese. And also, I'm going to talk about this when it comes to the North American server. But I think she gets like a one-time endure or survive, either two, or is it a dodge? Anyone. This is like some defensive effect like dodge, endure, survive, any one of these. I think it's actually dodge and damage cut or something, I don't know. Something like that, and I think some other stuff, not really that I care too much about, some MP stuff. MP restore? Yeah, I think she restores passively MP each turn or something like this, I don't know. However, more importantly, she also gets a rerun of her gacha. Wow. This is not what you guys are here for, though. I mean, Nagisa is great. She has a hairstyle in her swimsuit that is basically like she has buns in her head, like actual steamed buns in her hair. But more importantly, there's this fan service character right here. I don't know who this is, but they're having a swimsuit apparently, where they're also firing some rockets and they're dancing with a character that is way better. So we have Swimsuit Mummy, who is being released. I am joking, of course, with the stuff I just said, but at the same time, there has been some controversy surrounding this, because the thing is, I need to take you guys back to when the game released and when people saw that, wait a second, the Puella Holy Quintet are like in the story and stuff. I'm not gonna give story spoilers, but people saw the stuff that was going on in the main story and within another story, and people were like, none of this stuff that involves the Puella Holy Quintet matter at all. I mean, I know there's some stuff involving Mummy in the main story, but that could have been literally any other character and it wouldn't have made a difference at all, because the fact that it was Mummy made absolutely no difference whatsoever. However, the reason why I bring all this up is people always have been quick to point out the only reason why Puella Holy Quintet are in this game is to sell the game, basically. They don't belong in the story, they don't belong in something that is themed like this, or that has an atmosphere like this, or had tones like this, or something like this. They don't fit in the story anywhere. Like they don't belong here, right? They're just here for fan service. That's not my opinion. I mean, to some degree it is, but that's mostly just what some people on Twitter might have been saying, what some people in the community might have been saying, that PHQ are mostly just for fan service, just to sell the game, and people always point towards Mummy as well with that, because out of the entire Puella Holy Quintet, Mummy is of course the most fan servicey one out of all of them, and people are always quick to point that out as well. So when people saw the swimsuit, they were like, oh my god, how can you keep doing Puella Holy Quintet stuff? You have so many original characters. Arc 2 has just started. Arc 2 has so many characters, so many new characters. We have like 20-30 new characters. Just do something with them. But people then always go like, but that doesn't sell, right? Let's do something that sells. Let's do another Mummy out or whatever. But like I said, these are not necessarily my own personal views. I mean, to some degree I agree with them, but also to some degree I think people are a bit too crazy about this at the same time. Don't worry too much about it. I mean, yeah, of course they're gonna do stuff that sells, but I don't think that inherently makes it bad. But yeah, if you guys have specific thoughts about this, of course, tell me in the comments below. How good is she? I don't know. I actually don't know. I've actually looked at her. If she ever comes to, or not if, but when she comes to North American servers, we can have a look at that. And I'm going to tell you guys how good she is. But it seems like there's, about the event itself, I mean, it's an accomplish. This is probably the biggest shocker out of everything. It's an accomplish. What? If you don't remember what accomplish is, it's the same thing as the Shizuku event or the Mayo event, where you have to play through like 100 stages or whatever, and if characters die, they stay dead for a few hours, but you can heal them or like wait a few hours and stuff like that. Although it is worth mentioning that on the Japanese server, accomplish events are shorter, or at least they got shorter later on. So after a few accomplished events, they realized, wait a second, 150 or something, 110 I think it was, nodes are a bit much, and now they're only doing 50. So there's another event that comes before this as well. There's also, I think it's the Ryoko event, there's also an accomplished event, and that also only has like 50 nodes. So they've reduced the number of nodes. So if this event comes to, or when, I don't know why I keep saying if, when this event comes to NA, there won't be 100 nodes, I don't think. Anyway, more importantly though, it's like they're going to a festival and they're dancing and Kyoko's all blushing because MagiReco ships Mummy Kyoko. I'm sorry, Kyoko Sayaka fans, but MagiReco ships Mummy Kyoko. That's just what the game does. For some reason, the game also ships Homura and Sayaka to some degree. I don't know why, it just does that. The MagiReco developers are a bit weird on some of their ships. I don't know why. But however, I said something at the very beginning of this video, and this is also why I'm taking so much time, because there's stuff hidden beyond the surface. I'm going to zoom in on something very, very important. Zoom in. Probably should have just done this. Look at the bottom right. Do you see this blue button right here? What the fuck is that? People saw this button like, what is this button? This button is not in the game. In fact, this menu looks a bit different than it does in-game. Like the buttons are ordered a little bit differently than they are in-game, and you have this button down here. We can't read it. I think it almost says like Magia and then some word. It's really hard to say because it's a really small image and you can't enhance this. This is not an AVCS or something. It's really hard to say what it actually says. Or it says like a Kira. I have no idea what this says down there. No one has any idea what this actually could be, but it's pretty special, especially because there was an update to the game version that was mandatory. and of course this could just be, yeah, this is just the event. This is just the event, and if you, of course, since the event is running, it's mandatory that you get it, so you can play the event, right? This happens all the time. But people are also like, well, have they just added a whole bunch of stuff to the game that they're gonna like release later, and it has to do with this button down here? What could it be? What could it be? Oh, we don't know. But it's exciting stuff. So both on the North American server and the Japanese server, some stuff that's like, yeah, whatever, but also, oh, what are these secrets? What does it mean? What does any of this really mean? Tell me in the comments below what you think any of this means, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time. Hit that subscribe button.